Hey guys, your friendly neighborhood doc, and tonight I wanted to discuss the Batman 613 facsimile edition, part of the original Hush storyline. So let's go ahead and take a look at this by Jeph Loeb, Jim Lee, and Scott Williams. Alright, so the facsimile edition, just like we've talked about before in all these greatest hits, is a pound-for-pound issue that's got all of the original ads. It's got a classic reproduction of this Jim Lee artwork. You get Juicy Fruit ads, you get Kung Fu Chaos, you get this, this prime Jim Lee artwork. Jim was still at the top of his game when he did this book 23 years ago. It's hard to believe that it's almost been a quarter century since we've seen this. But look at the detail. And no, that's just not just a gratuitous shot of Harley Quinn's backside. Look at the detail that Jim put into the characters. That's one reason why I've always enjoyed Jim Lee's art almost as much as Todd McFarlane's, and more so than Rob Liefeld, because like I've said in multiple videos before, Jim was actually going to be a med student before he became a comic artist. So his proportions and his body language are more natural because he knows actually where those bones and muscles will go. So you've got in this issue, it opened with an opera, and in this opera you have Bruce Wayne, Selina Kyle, Thomas Elliott, and all of the other main players, and all of a sudden you get Harley Quinn here, and she pops up, and Batman comes to deal with her, and she ends up taking on Catwoman as well. So it's an explosive issue. It's an exciting part of this massive 12-part story that they did, which I'm doing this video, and they're re-releasing these issues partly because Hush 2 is coming. Actually coming next week, starting with Batman 158 on the current version of the series. And it'll again be by Jeph Loeb, Jim Lee, Scott Williams, and Alex Sinclair. So this is one of the greatest Batman stories, in my opinion, of all time, because Jeph Loeb understands the character, and he tends to go back to the Dark Knight detective. So it's a story of detective work as well as all-out action. So it's your mixture of your Michael Bay movie, but it also has some nuance. It's not quite David Lynch or Tarantino level, but it is much more than just an action adventure. It's more Hunt for Red October and less Batman Forever, or let's say Batman and Robin. It's got the steak and the sizzle. So if you haven't had a chance to check these out, this just came out this week. They've actually started with 608 a couple months ago, and they're going to do 608 all the way through 619. I'm just covering the ones and picking up the ones that I was missing the original issues, because some of those original issues are stupid expensive to go back and try to pick up on their own. But like I said, you've got this classic Jim Lee artwork. You can see the details in the cross-hatching. You can see how each character, each person has their own face. They're not just copycat images. And it was as though Jim Lee still had the energy and the spunk and the life in him to create something just amazing. Just absolutely amazing. And again, I go back to this panel. You can see the detail on Thomas Elliott's face. You get to see the figure work there with Harley Quinn moving. You get to see the anger in Selina's face and the concern in Leslie Tompkins' face. And then, like I said, you just get this massive splash page followed with all this awesome, awesome artwork. So guys, if you have not checked out Hush, go back and pick up these facsimile editions. You will not be disappointed. The regular facsimile editions run $3.99. There's also a foil variant of each one of these, and I believe they are $5.99. So it really depends on which one you want. But either way, you cannot go wrong. There you go, Harley Quinn. I don't want to leave you out in this awesome artwork and this amazing cover. But, all right, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this book. Check it out and let me know what you think.